How tough is this sport?
The toughest. Like, I don't think anything really compares to um, the journey it takes, honestly. And
In January, you landed 2 triple back passes in one routine. Tell us about that. Has anybody done that before?
no, so I'm the first to do two triples in one routine. So the triple pike is the hardest skill in gymnastics as of right now.
How important has Simone Biles been for this sport?
She is huge for both men and women. Just she is the most dominant, almost the most dominant athlete that I know, other than like LeBron James, who's just known for being LeBron James.
Most underrated gymnast right now.
I gotta say me.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, very pleased to welcome Kameron Nelson, one of the most talented young gymnasts in the world. How's it going, Cam? What are you up to over there?
Doing great. I had a practice today, getting back into the swing of things after going to Japan. But things are looking well. Just training for USA championships and everything. So yeah, getting back into it.
Awesome. What's preparation like for that?
We got about a month until I go to qualifier, and to make that, I have to qualify in points. So I'm just kind of working my routines back on floor and vault in order to qualify to go to USA championships, and then I'll train for about another month, and then there I'll train to compete to try to make the national team. So a little bit of a process, but yeah, it's very vigorous, but got to go through it.
Exciting times. How did you get into this in the first place?
My mom was a gymnast, but she never really pushed it onto me. But I was always doing flips and stuff on the couch when I was younger and everything, kind of like most gymnasts do. I started gymnastics kind of doing trampoline and stuff in my backyard. So I kind of started gymnastics a little later. I officially started around 10, 11. So most gymnasts start when they're like 4 or 5. But mine was a little bit later of a process. So I had my own kind of like experience in doing flips and stuff in the backyard, but no real training. But yeah, I kind of just always had an knack for it.
How tough is this sport?
The toughest. Like, I don't think anything really compares to the journey it takes, honestly, and how much there is to always improve on. There's an infinite amount of skills to work on, and anyone can kind of like get up and kick a ball or catch a ball, but not anyone can get on their hands and do a handstand. So yeah, definitely, I think the hardest sport in the world.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people can't touch their toes. I think me included. I'm figuring it out. You grew up in Idaho, right? Gymnastics at a young age, like you say. What were those early training sessions like at Avoncourt?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was coached by Donnie Gardner. He's a little bit older of a coach, but he has tons of experience in coaching both boys and girls. And he kind of started just my love for the sport. It wasn't really too vigorous at that point. It was more about like it being fun, and just kind of enjoying what you're doing, and getting a little bit of technique in there, so you're not hurting yourself when you're learning skills. But yeah, with him, it was really just about understanding the sport and loving it. We would play a lot of games in the gym beforehand, and yeah, training was really just like fun, being around all the guys there. Everyone's super nice, and yeah, I think that was a big role in just shaping my love for the sport at that time.
In January, you landed 2 triple. In January, you landed 2 triple back passes in one routine. Tell us about that. Has anybody done that before?
No, so I'm the first to do two triples in one routine. Both are competed by other athletes, but never in sequence with one another. So the triple pike is the hardest skill in gymnastics as of right now, and then triple tuck is pretty close up there. So triple pike was just competed within 4 years, I think. Maybe 2020 was the first year it was competed. So I saw that skill is something that no one really dreams of doing on the floor. But that's something that I felt I could do. Especially training triple tuck since I was like 14 or 15 on the tumble track and the trampoline, and then competing triple back for the past 3 years. I knew that I could get the pipe down, and once you can do one, in my opinion, you can do two. So I saw the opportunity to be world's first, so I went and took it. Yeah.
Is that part of the appeal of this sport, that you can always take it to new places and be a pioneer? Do you get a buzz off of that?
Yeah, I think that's like a big part in this sport. It's always evolving. The equipment's evolving. The gymnasts are learning more and how different techniques work better. And I think that's like the main appeal with this sport is like there's always gonna be someone that's trying to work something more than you. And me setting the standard of trying to do these two skills, I already know like come the next like 4 years, there's gonna be another kid doing the same thing, if not pushing it to another level. So, yeah, and I enjoy that too because then there's another challenge for me to chase as well and set another standard. So I think that's the main appeal with this sport.
A lot of people fall in love with gymnastics at the Olympics. How big is the Olympics for you in terms of your goals, and how important is it in terms of the growth of this sport?
Yeah, the Olympics is probably the main reason why the sport has not already like fallen off, especially in the United States, where the Olympics and college are the only two places that gymnastics really takes you. And other than that, it's a pretty dead sport. No one really pays attention too much to it here. So I would say that's the main reason of why it's so big around the world. But um, for me, like it's every gymnast's goal to go to the Olympics, obviously. And for me, it's been a bigger goal and more of a goal that I could see myself doing more recently, especially after doing things like the two triples in one routine. And it's something that over time I've started to realize like I have the potential to possibly be a contender for one of those Olympic spots. So yeah, big dreams, big goals to do that, and hopefully I can train hard enough and do the right things to get there. But yeah, every gymnast always dreams of doing that.
How important has Simone Biles been for this sport?
She is huge for both men and women, just setting the new standard of sport, honestly, not even just gymnastics, but what it means to be an athlete. She kind of self-made, honestly, like always had the power and the will to do that stuff. Kind of needed someone to help her kind of hone in on her skills and clean up a little bit, but she's like the epitome of an athlete. So yeah, she's huge, and her past 4 8 years have really put more of a view on both men's and women's gymnastics, because her doing the skills she does is being compared to men's gymnastics, and our sports are kind of completely different, but her growth helps everyone. So it's been huge.
Is there a space there for a male equivalent? Because everybody's heard of Simone Biles. My daughter is talking about her from age 4. Is there, or is there already like a male equivalent I haven't heard of?
Yeah,
Is that
so
inspiring for someone to kind of step up and be the star?
yeah, well, before her, everyone would always talk about Kohei Uchimura, the Japanese gymnast, and he's known as the king of gymnastics even now. And I think everyone is, especially on the men's side, always thinks of him as number one, as the GOAT. And I'm not sure of the specifics of how many world medals, how many world titles he has, and Olympic medals that he has, but yeah, he's one that everyone looks up to, and there's definitely a few that are on the rise. I wouldn't say anyone's quite reached to that level yet of consistency, and not like Simone Biles, who's completely dominated on almost everything she does. So, yeah, I would say she is the most dominant, almost the most dominant athlete that I know, other than like LeBron James, who's just known for being LeBron James and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say Kōhei Uchimura is the most close equivalent male gymnast to her.
And what about in the US? Who's somebody you love to watch or somebody that inspires you and exciting at the moment?
Yeah, right now the most inspiring gymnast is Fred Richards, only because of his age, and how hard he works and how much he pushes for gymnastics to grow. He does literally so much. I think he's not even 21, and he's pushed the sport, pushed the social media to new levels that I've never seen before. Um, I know, like, coming into college, he hired his own social media person just to be there to video for him so he could really focus on the sport, but also bring more views to our sport. And I think he's playing a big role in that. But he is so dedicated. When I made national team in 2023, training with him was something like so different. His mentality was just 120% gymnastics. There's nothing outside of that. The way he eats and sleeps and everything is just always towards that. So he's one that I've enjoyed watching most recently. Yeah.
Awesome. And your own content's super cool. You can take photographs, you can shoot, and you want it to be a cinematographer, right? How important is it, the content side of the game? I've been interviewing athletes a long time, and without telling a story of who you are and making people care, something is missing, right? How do you understand that side of the game? How important is it?
Yeah, I've always thought of any sport, honestly, like it's all just the performance in the end of the day. And if you're not really sharing what you're doing, to me, it's like 50% of the point. Like 50% is for you, but the rest is it's a performance. It's for everyone else too. So I think that the content for me is a really important part and the reason why I do it. Because I need not I need validation, but I want the world to see these new levels of what the human body can do. And without the people watching, without the support, it's fun at that point, like, it's just a hobby, but without that, there's, like, less of a connection to other people and the sport.
It's a fascinating one because I cover a lot of combat sports, right? And I guess gymnastics, it can be a team sport, but often you're out there alone and people see the performance, but they don't see you kind of alone running to the gym, walking home alone, getting up early. A lot of it is grafting and there's no audience, there's no applause, there's just hard work. How challenging is that for you? How much adversity is involved in getting to that moment where everything works out?
Yeah, for me, it's I wouldn't say it's too challenging because of how long I've been doing it, and at this point, it's just, like, routine and discipline that it's just kinda everyday life. We come to the gym, and it's not like it's not dreadful for me, it's just I automatically get up, and that's what I go do. So I wouldn't say it's, like, it's too challenging. I mean, going on vacation and coming back, getting back into the swing of things, that can be challenging sometimes, and sometimes going on vacation is harder than staying. So, for me, that's the hardest part. But yeah, not everyone sees the behind the scenes. People don't see the countless numbers that I take when I go compete. They just see the one routine and fall or hit. That's what they get. But they don't see the countless amount of numbers that I do inside of the gym, and to make sure that when I go compete, that it's the best performance I can go do. So that's what I like to push a little bit more on social media, letting people know, like, what I'm really doing, and not just what you see is what you get. So yeah.
That NCAA title win in the vault, that was big for you. That was Ohio's first event champion since 2019.
Mm.
How was that? What did that mean to bring that title home?
Yeah, I think that was one of the most important parts of my athletic career, especially in college. One of my biggest idols growing up was Sean Melton, and he never won a national champion, but instead he was a Neeson Emery, which is like the Heisman for gymnastics. And doing that gets your picture pretty much up on the wall at our gym. And coming to camps and everything, I would see that. And he's a few years older than me, but I've known him since I was really young. and he came to Ohio State, so I kind of wanted to follow in his footsteps and do similar things as him. And leading up to that event, I hadn't done anything that would put me up on that wall yet, and standing there to get ready for the vault, like that was kind of all I could think of is I have to leave my mark. Like this is my chance, my moment. And I told myself in the back of my mind, like, why not me? Or this was meant to be. And right before going, that's all I thought about, and I let it go, and that's how it ended up. And it was really an exciting moment. Almost passed out afterwards, just cheering and everything. I was walking down the stairs. I'm like, whoa, gotta chill out for a second so I can live for this moment. But yeah, that was something that was super important and super fulfilling for me.
That's amazing. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I think you posted what a way to go out after your NCAA historic season. How would you sum it up?
Yeah, it's been definitely a ride with the start of it of college being during COVID. And I had like some things like didn't know if I want to still do gymnastics during COVID and all this, because I took that break and I had the time to think about other things other than gymnastics. But I had that time to think about the things that I love and think about what I love to do. And it brought me back to gymnastics, and it rekindled the love I had for the sport. And ultimately, my decisions just kept moving forward with each other, and things kept getting better as the years went on, and my goals and passions started to align until the end of the season. And all the injuries and all of the mental battles and all the struggles that I go through just to get to that point is just a full story that it's hard to put into words. You kind of have to live it to understand it. But yeah, it's unlike an experience that I've ever had. So super grateful for it, really.
What's the difference between competing in college and you competed for the national team? Is there any tangible differences in atmosphere or levels? And yeah, what's the major difference for you?
Yeah, for me, I would say national team is definitely a little bit more stressful because it's more on you. It's both stressful and not stressful at the same time because it is about you. And uh your challenge or your wrongdoing or failure is only going to affect you when it comes to doing things internationally for yourself. But in college and in team gymnastics, it's for me less stressful because I have the people behind me to back me up if I mess up. So that's where I take the opportunity for in college to try new things and push limits because I know that my teammates are there behind me to back me up if I need them. So that's kind of the main difference. But it's always your gymnastics at the end of the day. Like your benefit, your as long as you're doing what you need to do, the team's gonna benefit. And the same for USA and internationally, and for yourself, if you're doing what you need to do, everyone's gonna benefit. So I wouldn't say it's too different, but it's more of a mental thing.
Are we going to see you at the World Championships?
Hopefully, that's where USA's comes down to it. So there I hope to compete the hardest difficulty floor routine, which I've already done. I just have to do it with good execution and everything on floor. And if I execute it properly and I win at that event, then I'm pretty sure it's a guaranteed spot onto a world team. So possibly this summer, if not this one, then hopefully in the